welcome back. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is your host, Piper Doug, and a bunch of girls who are recharging their batteries. See? And the boys. Yeah, they're almost ready for a new bale. If I hadn't said before, PB Mart, the 30 flats of continuous rail that I ordered before the end of the year are finally in. Yes, they went from Ontario through to Red Deer, Alberta, and back to Brandon. So that's to be picked up, and also the other thing that I ordered before they went under is there now, so I can pick everything all up at once. I was supposed to go today because I figured, well, what else would I do on a lovely day like this except go for a drive? Well, I ain't going anywhere today. We didn't get a lot of snow, thankfully. Praise the powers. We did not get a lot of snow out of that storm. We got about 3 inches total, but we got the wind and we got the drifts. These girls could care less. Hey Felicia. Hey sweetie girl. There's my joker. Hey sweet lady. Hey darling. You good? Yeah, you're good. Hey old girl. So here's Mama Flops. So these beggars, they got their first #1 alfalfa bales yesterday. So we split them. #1 alfalfa, and they still had grass in the other bale feeders, because if we're hauling them out next Wednesday, yeah, we're maybe just gonna bulk them up a little bit. Yeah, everybody seems really good. None of you up and die before next week, eh? That would be super beneficial. Bale feeders are still almost full out there because these guys don't want to go out. Even though it is sheltered out there, as you can see, it's blowing way out there. But it's out of the northwest westerly. So in here, it's very calm. And then out there is also very calm. But these guys could care less because they have some edible straw, oat straw, 3-year-old. And they have no want nor need. So I'm gonna get about my day. I've got to do a run into town. Big brother's heading back to Scotland for a visit with Dad, and I gotta finish getting that gateway punched open down at the other bale yard, and then hopefully get this skid steer situation resolved, because I would like to start getting all of this snow moved out of here, because we got 2 weeks. Well, actually now we've got a week before we shut these girls in, and then that'll be that. It'll be right around the corner, so let's get going. You're a weird cat. Yeah. Okay, so putting the exhaust back on because we don't need it out anymore. And if I'm every time I talk, you interrupt me. Just like a woman. Sorry, Mrs. Piper Dog, please don't hit me. Anyway, so conversation between you and me and the gate post. I really don't know where that saying came from. 'Cause I need to, oh yeah, I gotta do it this way. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Because it is the exhaust bracket is, I need to read that because I can't have you read that because you don't answer me. 9/16 for the exhaust clamp, and then 3/4 inch for the exhaust bolt. Really. So I've had a few people comment, not a lot. Please don't think that it's just because of that one dough heat, as they say in Scotland. Everybody is really good about giving recommendations as far as, why can't I get into this one? This one's really complicated. About tractors, and I've had a few people send me links to tractors, and thank you very much. And it will be looked at, because we're taking everything seriously. Because, you know, we're kind of out of, I'll be back in a second. And we're back. I had to go get the 3/8 ratchet with short extension, because the 1/2 inch with the short extension is too long. See if I can get in this. Sorry, I know I keep pointing in the wrong direction. Come on. There we go. So the conversation was, people have been sending me links to tractors. The biggest issue I have right now is, me and the boss lady, we've always committed to not making decisions in the heat of the moment. Now that is good advice for a married couple, but it's also good advice for business owners. So right now, while that machine is laid up, and this machine's giving me jip, this would be when you would do a knee-jerk reaction, because we're relying on one 45-year-old tractor, well, 35-year-old tractor anyway. Closer to 40, but anyway. Ow, where'd you go? Well, you popped off, eh? So yeah, it's dangerous. We're putting a lot of faith in a very old piece of equipment. Why are you not doing what you're supposed to be doing, mister? Oh, that's why. That's tight enough. So we have looked at newer machines, you know, because why is that not right? Is that not 3/4? I thought you guys told me it was 3/4 inch. What are you then? 17 mil, just like on the belly pan. You sacre bleu. I'll be back. Better. That's better. Seriously, as soon as I start talking, as soon as I start filming. Where are you? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we have looked at, because our budget when we went the farming by ourselves after the family dissolved the grain farm, because there was a tractor just like what BCP runs. And the reason we did not keep it, even though it didn't sell very well on our sale, ironically, that T6180 and then the big quad track, the T9-615, what we got for them in the sale 4 years ago, you can get that price for them now, 4 years later. That's how bad our auction went, because it was during a big storm and it was all internet thanks to the old pandemic. Don't need to talk about that. And, oh, I'm leaking. So we decided, look, even though the loader tractor was lower price, it was out of our price range at that point because we weren't sure how things were going to shake down. And then also, we couldn't afford to keep it because of the repairs on that machine. And I know that sounds quite, what's the best way to put that? Stupendous? Is that a good way to put it? I don't know. I don't know. Words are hard. parts on new machines with sensors, solenoids and actuators and all that stuff, they're so expensive versus old machines like this. But I'm going to tell you something, rock solid. Take this to the bank. Yeah, don't worry about that. I had to use, here's the squirrel. I had to put this on the end of that tin can to shove inside the air filter to suffocate that engine. But the fan grabbed a piece of the tatters and pulled it into the fan blade while I was trying to do that. So I yanked it out before it get wrapped up in the bearings, and then it was laying in the water, so I hung it up there to dry. So yeah, I'm not planning on wearing that again, so you don't worry about that. Anyway, squirrel! This is the God's honest truth. We've had less trouble with this orange tractor in the 4 years we've owned it than we had in the 2 years we had that T6 180. I am not joking, I'm not being hyperbolic, I'm not exaggerating. That is the God's honest truth. We've had less trouble with this tractor than we had with that brand new. It was brand new when we got it. That T6 180 had 22 calls. 7 of the calls were Mazers had to come get it, take it away. So we had lots of calls where they had to come down and reboot the computer, redo things. They had to replace the joystick 4 times. One of the big ones is they had to replace the kingpin because there's no grease point. I've probably talked about this before. There's no grease point in the top kingpin on this side on those tractors because there's a sensor in there that switches off the front wheel assist when you turn the steering too tight. So they didn't put a grease point in there, and they swore that it would be fine. I've talked to this before, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it was not fine and it cost a lot of money, but it was still on warranty. So, to them. But as much as this tractor causes me a lot of stress, it doesn't cause me that. The downside, and I know a lot of you have already jumped ahead of me, is nobody is sending me a backup machine while this is down. I have my own. So that's where we're at. The problem being is it's getting hard to get parts for this. There is a, I can't remember the letters on it. It's the 115 version of this. So it's almost 10 years newer. It's in Moosomin, Saskatchewan. It's in our price range, but we're too scared to pull the pin on it. Because we could go get it in a couple hours and be back up and running. Because this is a great tractor. It's got great road speed. It does everything great. But the parts are hard to get. And that's where the problem is. That tractor might be great and never give a lick of problems going forward. But can we take that chance? So that's where we're at. So that's kind of one of the reasons why when people are saying, well, just take the plunge and get a bigger loan and just buy a newer tractor. You're still not guaranteed that it's not going to sit down on you. Plus, you're getting into DEF, you're getting into all these other things. So yeah. Anyway, that's the exhaust on. So now it's just to go back under there and deal with that cable, but I've got to go run to town. This is what they call a whiteout. Blue sky, sun is shining, and you can't see more than 100 yards. All the snow is on the move. I'll bring you back in a couple of minutes here when I show you what's at the bottom of our home half. Well, it was the grain farm's home half, but I'll bring you back in a minute. Yeah. There has been moments when you have to go beyond the slip road and turn in on the other lane because this fills completely in. Looks like we're still open. We're just still open. It's taller than the truck. Yeah. She's a humdinger, folks. And here's the reason why we're moving the gate. So with all the snow drifts, there's nothing in here. Everything here is as it was left by the snowplow the last time we went through. It's nice and sheltered in here. Yay trees! And then you get to where my gate's going, and you get to that. That's 20 feet up. So yeah, that's why we're not saving that gateway anymore. So I'm just gonna punch this out, and we'll open this up into a nice road. So we'll bring you back, and there we go. One new gate installed. Send a message to Ross and say, there you go, bud, when you come down to bust her open, you go in there, turn around and get back out without having to reverse out. And hopefully it'll be a lot easier going forward. Woo! Is winter over yet? Are we done yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Yeah. We're going fishing. So here she is. Yes, look. All that sheathing is buggered up. I think this is where we're going to find most of the problem, because that is muy corroded. So that lays down right in the belly pan. And then it works up past the transmission up to the foot of the cab up here. But I think this is where it sits. So, and it's a solid rod. Hi. It's a solid rod, so I'm gonna soak it in diesel, and then we'll try doing some worky, spinny, worky technical term stuff. By the way, that 2x4 is not holding the cab up, and neither is that tractor. I actually have the locking pin in. You'd be proud of me, because I ain't going in there with that cab not fully supported, because Mrs. Piper Doug, as powerful a woman as she is, she ain't lifting that cab off of me. And yeah, so we'll get and see what we can do, because like I said, I cannot get it to turn. But I've managed to work it in and out under pressure, so it should free up, and I stripped the rest of the sheathing away. That way I can sort of do this, which will let the diesel into it and lubricate it. So I think it'll work. If we can get it lubricated, and then I can just wrap it in tape, and then at a certain point we'll either get the proper one for it and get it put back the way it's supposed to be, where I think the cable is supposed to go in that direction and not under there. Yeah, so me and Toothless will get her figured out. It worked. Well, I've got it worked all the way out to here. So now I can fire some diesel down inside the sheathing, and then work this sucker back and forth. Get it to soak. Aye. Get it to soak, you dafty. Woo! We're making headway, folks. DeWalt. Got dirt in my eye. There's dirt in your eye, bud. Well, I'm not entirely sure, but I hope I said thanks for y'all clicking on the video, coming along for a visit back at Wreck-It Ranch, where not only do we wreck it, but we cobble it back together. So, yeah, the cable, as you saw in the last clip, got spun and cleaned. And I'm trying this is where I kind of wish I'd put a pit in this workshop. So, there, I taped it all up. So, once I go back up top, I'm going to pull this cable back up so it's not sitting on the floor. So, what have we done? Well, if you look up there, you'll see there is 2 cable clamps now instead of that one stupid little hose clamp and a cable clamp. And then where you see, I gotta get my hand out of the light. Where you see the rubber, I don't know what you call those, guides. So I put the hose clamps on either side to stop this sheath from sliding through it, which is what I think was the problem. So I've got it maxed out up the way, which means the engine is shut off. So at least now I can go up top, cable tie the cable, cable tie it all up out of the way and put the end on it and give it a sugary try thing. And I checked the starter motor, the contacts are good on it, so it must mean the solenoid's on the way out. And I found out you cannot change just the solenoid on this starter motor, you have to change the whole thing, and it's $800. This is an 81 horsepower Isuzu engine. And the starter motor for a tiny little 4-banger is $800. That's what I gotta put up with, folks. That noise. So, fingers crossed, that's her, boys. She's back. It's alive! It's alive! Question is, can I kill it? Let me see if I can set you up somewhere. Well, I'd call that mint. Isn't that right, Ryan? We're in the big bits. Still don't have that heater thing, but soon. So yeah, I only have about 20 more bales down here. Yeah, I think it's about 20. So that's 7 more feedings for these girls here. But man, the amount of work I have to do just to get to bales after these storms is insane. Glad I got this old bugger up and going, so. Temperature's dropping. Minus 20. 3 runs with the glow plugs. Fired right up, baby. Woohoo! Mint! Stupid idea. Feeding. And to answer a question I got that somebody was wondering why we don't just shut the cows in now. Like, we're in February. There's Ty, sweet girl. Like, why are we still making them walk out here to the food? Weather's not great, blah blah blah. Yeah, we could shut them in. But the more poop we can leave outside here where it's going to get spread, it saves, you know, it might save another load of manure, half a load. It saves a little bit. So that's why we kind of hold off as long as we can. Now, this time next week, we will be shutting them in. Because Valentine's Day is our mark, and I think for the big cows, the earliest they can start calving technically is the 24th. So that gives us 10 days. That's cutting it close enough for us. So if we shut them in next weekend, after we've got the calves hauled this week, we shut them in, and then that gives us a week. Hopefully by that point we might have the other tractor back, or whatever's going to happen, to clean up at the back of the yard and shut them in and build the bale walls around them. That way once they start calving, they're not in the breeze at all. But see, they're starting to come out now. But so yeah, That's kind of why we're still making them come out here. The exercise is good for them. They're not hurting. And I think there's places with hardly any snow now. Yeah. Honest to gosh. I cannot believe that there's places less than a day's drive from here that have bare fields. Like even towards Winnipeg, there's ground showing. And then we have this. Look at the driveway. Like that's the height of the hood of the tractor. That's more. And then so's that. There we go. So yeah. And I know if I had a snowblower I could throw it further, blah blah blah, but I have never seen it this bad. Ay, 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 ay. This is the nice thing about having this guy back up and running. Yes, that snow is the height of me sitting in the skid steer. And yes, this would have taken a quarter of the time of the snowblower. I know that. We don't have one. We're gonna be getting one. That's as soon as we have a tractor with 3-point linkage that works. Yeah. So the reason I'm cleaning this out, because we won't be using it for driving around much, is we have to put bales along here. So, if and when we get to when the orange tractor is ready or another tractor is here, you never know what will come first. When we start hauling the bales back in, we can get this done, and then we can get the row along the back of the fence done that I was talking about in a previous clip when the cows get shut in next week. Because we put a row of bales back there, and then we close this whole pen in, so there's no air gets in here at all. Because this wall here on this corner is where all the babies, the mums like to have their babies. So ideally it would be great to put a shelter back in here, which maybe someday we will, but right now we don't. So anyway, yay. Well folks, here we are, the end of the video again. And yes, there's no outro because I had a very big surprise today. The kids all of a sudden showed up this afternoon. But unbeknownst to me, Mrs. Piper Doug was in on the plan. They were going to have a surprise party for old Piper Doug for passing 1,000 subscribers. And in the next clip you will see, they gave me this. So yeah, officially in the world of YouTube, they don't give you anything for passing 1,000, but they had this made up for me. Thanks to a family friend, so just want to give a big thanks to the Piper Doug family. And yeah, so hopefully enjoy the next few wee clips. And we'll see you in the next video, folks. Thanks for watching. Tatty bye.
Okay, you can take off the blindfold.
Oh, I can?
Congratulations, Piper Doug!
Yay! Oh my gosh. What the fuck? Wow.
Piper Doug channel language appropriate.
That is the biggest numbers ever. Well, thank you very much. Wow. And you got the Christmas tinsel just for me.
Yep.
Aww.
And then
YouTube colors.
Yay! To your right, it's a little something from your family.
Well, what could this be as I ponder? Makeup bag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Layer up.
I just, the look on your face makes like something can explode. Wow, it's metal. It's metal. It's holding on to it. Oh, wow. That is fucking nice. Wow.
We're very proud of you.
Wow, that is cool. That is, I'm officially, that is cool.
Show the fans.
Let's hear a speech.
Speech,
I would just like to thank me
speech.
for doing this and for my family for actually giving my channel all the other extra views and all the rest of it. That's cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awkward.
Yes, as always.